Hello and welcome to the daily newspaper analysis on the Clad Possible YouTube channel. Today, let's pick out the important news from the 20th of February 2024. Right, so the very first thing is the important day, right? So today is the 20th of February and it is also celebrated as World Day of Social Justice. Right, this was, by the way, a question that was asked in the previous year CLAT examination, that what is the meaning of social justice. But chalo theek hai, wo kisi aur din karenge. And the theme for 2024 is bridging gaps, building alliances. All right, so that is that about the important day and the important theme. Let's go ahead. The next one is, of course, all of the news that I've picked out is important, but this one is extremely important, and well, it has been in news for a really, really long time. Now, just to give you a basic idea as to what this is all about, you see, back in the day when the British was ruling over us, we had divided forests and the administration of forests into three parts. There was a certain section of the forest which was completely regulated by the government. There was a certain section that was partially regulated by the government, and then there was forest in the villages which was governed by the village administration. And that is exactly how it came about, right? That is how it used to happen. Now, once we gained independence and, we made our constitution, we implemented it, in the year 1952, for the very first time, we made something called the National Forest Policy. And this magical number of 1/3 or 33% of land, it was introduced for the first time. तो बड़ी सिंपल सी भाषा में बोला 1/3 ऑफ द लैंड शुड बी अंडर फॉरेस्ट कवर. ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि इकोलॉजी को संभालना है, एनवायरनमेंट को संभालना है, और ये बहुत बढ़िया एक तरीके से एक कार्बन को अब्जॉर्ब भी करेगा एंड बहुत ज़्यादा वाइल्ड लाइफ थ्राइव भी होगी. सो हमारे एनवायरनमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी के लिए बहुत बढ़िया बात होगी. सो दैट इज व्हाट वाज प्रपोज्ड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर नेशनल फॉरेस्ट पॉलिसी. अगर थोड़ा सा आगे चलें तो इन 1976 in fact we had so by the 42nd amendment of 1976, which is also known as the mini constitution, another very huge thing happened. 5 subjects were transferred from list 2 to list 3. 5 subjects were transferred from the state list to the concurrent list. We're not talking about all 5. We'll talk about just one, right? And one of those matters were forests. So forest के बारे में पहले लॉ कौन बनाता था? सिर्फ और सिर्फ राज्य सरकार. एंड फिर हमने इसको ट्रांसफर करके किस में डाल दिया? कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट में. नाउ स्टेट एंड सेंटर बोथ कैन मेक लॉज फॉर इट बिकॉज इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर आवर कंट्री. Acha, then what happened? Then, over the years, people started questioning what is the meaning of forest. Because you see, whenever there is any particular area is under forest, right, is declared as a forest, then it becomes mandatory to not allow certain activities there, right? To not allow deforestation over there, right? And so hence, what is exactly a forest? And so there was this landmark judgment called N. Godavarman versus Union of India, wherein the Supreme Court, if I'm not wrong, this is so it's written also, this is 1996 का judgment, जहाँ पे Supreme Court ने बोला अच्छा हम बताते हैं आपको कि forest का मतलब क्या होता है. So basically any land that is termed as a forest under government records, मतलब सरकारी record में लिखित में होना चाहिए कि ये एक forest है, और यहाँ पे फालतू का पेड़ वेड़ काटना, poachers, hunting, ये सब कुछ नहीं होगा. And the second thing is any land that satisfies the dictionary definition of forest as per the Oxford Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary में अगर लिखा है या किसी भी डिक्शनरी में जो फॉरेस्ट की डेफिनेशन है वो वाली चीज को भी हम फॉरेस्ट मानेंगे. अब वो क्या होता है? ऑक्सफोर्ड डिक्शनरी कहता है एक लार्ज एरिया कवर्ड विद ट्रीज एंड अंडरग्रोथ. एनी लार्ज एरिया कवर्ड विद ट्रीज एंड अंडरग्रोथ एज पर द ऑक्सफोर्ड डिक्शनरी इज अ फॉरेस्ट. Now, why is there a petition and what is this all about? Now, you can see it over here that the central government has been told by the Supreme Court use the dictionary meaning of forest. Now, why would that happen? Now, the act that talks about the conservation of forest in our country is called the Forest Conservation Act of 1980. Last year, there was an amendment made to this particular act of 1980. So 2023 amendment was not liked by a lot of people. And a lot of retired civil servants have approached the Supreme Court regarding this particular amendment, saying ये गलत है. For example, इस अमेंडमेंट के अंदर कुछ चीजें की बात कर रहे हैं, सारी चीजों की बात नहीं कर रहे. चलो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इस अमेंडमेंट में लिखा है कि बॉर्डर के पास का जो एरिया है, वहां पे जो फॉरेस्ट एरिया है, वो हम लोग फॉरेस्ट नहीं डिक्लेयर करेंगे फॉर नेशनल सिक्योरिटी. So वहां पे we can make any kind of infrastructure or whatever in the name of national security. Is it right or is it wrong? The best part is that this particular matter is with the Supreme Court. Who are we? So let the Supreme Court decide. I'm just telling you what the amendment is all about. So एक तो ये वाली चीज, दूसरी ये अमेंडमेंट कहीं ना कहीं जूज, सफारीज, इन सब की एस्टैब्लिशमेंट के बारे में बात कर रही है, राइट, इकोलॉजिकल इकोनॉमी को बढ़ाने के लिए. But now the Supreme Court has said that establishment of such zoos or such safaris will not happen unless the final approval of the apex court has been taken. तुम नहीं कर सकते ये वाली चीज हमारी परमिशन के बिना, right? Now this court, the court has listed the case again in July. So again we will read a little bit about it in July. The final decision hasn't been taken, but the court has definitely said कि जो डिक्शनरी मीनिंग, मतलब कि ये वाले केस की बात की है 1996 वाली जजमेंट, कि we will define a forest like this. You also have to understand that a lot of people are called forest dwellers in our country, and most of them are tribal population, right? I'm not saying all tribals are forest dwellers, but forest dwellers are tribal people. Their livelihood is also dependent upon the forests, right? And so hence a lot needs to be kept into consideration, because once these zoos and safaris and in the name of national security, if all of these things start happening, then it will also lead to a lot of problem of rehabilitation and resettlement of the tribal population. So we will keep reading the newspaper and then we will maybe get the final judgment in July. But till then, keep all of this in mind. Let's go ahead. The next one is a protest. Now, this protest is coming from the Union Territory of Ladakh. Just to give you a basic idea about it, although you guys know it already, I'm sure. आर्टिकल 370 किसके लिए जाना जाता था? ये एक स्पेशल स्टेटस देता था टू द स्टेट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. Now, in the year 2019, to be precise, on the 5th of August of 2019, the government basically removed the special status, right? Special status of Jammu and Kashmir को हटा दिया. 5 अगस्त को आई थिंक इंट्रोड्यूस किया था, 31 अक्टूबर को उसको इन्फोर्स किया था. एक तो स्पेशल स्टेटस हटा दिया. सेकंड, व्हाट डिड दे डू? एक स्टेट को दे कन्वर्टेड इट इनटू 2 यूटीज, यूटी ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड द सेकंड वन वाज द यूटी ऑफ लद्दाख. अब साथ ही साथ तब से लेके अब तक लद्दाख में कुछ प्रोटेस्ट चल रहे हैं. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट इट. नाउ लद्दाख इज सेइंग वी वांट अ स्टेटहुड. Now, center has agreed to discuss the statehood, says Ladakh leaders. This particular demand is twofold. Before we get into the demand, the Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh is Brigadier B.D. Mishra. That is something that you need to keep in mind, right? We are going to talk about two things. One is the 6th schedule and the second one is statehood. If we talk about the 6th schedule, this is basically to do with areas जिनको हम बोल देते हैं tribal areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this so that I get some space to write it down. Okay. So guys, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a state. Right now, imagine in this particular state, there is a lot of tribal population that is residing. यहाँ पे कुछ tribal population है, यहाँ पे कुछ tribal population है, यहाँ पे कोई और tribal population है, यहाँ पे कोई और tribal population है. What I'm trying to say is, एक state में बहुत सारे type की tribes होती हैं, जैसे मेघालय में गारो, खासी, जैंतिया, बोडो, एंगलोंग tribe in Assam, right? So there are many tribes. Now, what has happened is wherever these guys are residing, these tribes are residing, no, these areas have very less facilities. बहुत कम facilities है in terms of electricity, water, basic facilities नहीं है. अब this is a state already has a legislature and executive, right? If they were doing a very nice job तो इन लोगों को भी इनकी facilities मिल जाती, लेकिन obviously किसी reason की वजह से वो इतना ज़्यादा effective नहीं हो पा रहा. तो अब हमने क्या किया, इनको recognize करके 6th schedule के अंदर डाल दिया. और 6th schedule में जैसे ही डाला तो क्या बोला ये सारी की सारी tribes can form a council, right, which will have representation of all of these tribes, and then they will have the authority to make rules with respect to their land, like acquisition of land. अच्छा, land का क्यों? क्योंकि बेटा tribe को अगर हम हिंदी में बोलें तो क्या होता है, आदिवासी. आदिवासी का literal translation into अंग्रेजी क्या है? Original inhabitant. A tribe is an original inhabitant of that particular area. So hence they get to decide whether they want to give this land to this industrialist or that industrialist or not give it at all. Provisions such as special authority with respect to the conservation of their customs. आपने यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड पढ़ा है उत्तराखंड में, उसमें भी लिखा है ट्राइब्स के ऊपर नहीं अप्लाई करेंगे क्योंकि संवैधानिक सेफगार्ड मिला है उन लोगों को. ठीक है. अब इस 6th शेड्यूल में कौन है? असम, मेघालय, त्रिपुरा, मिजोरम. लद्दाख also wants to be a part of it. I'm not getting into the 5th schedule. Maybe I'll make a dedicated video on that. But अभी के लिए आप 6th schedule की बात करें. Because 5th schedule is also similar, not the same, but similar to this. Anyway, लद्दाख के लोग जो हैं, they are dependent upon the glaciers for drinking water, guys. And amongst many things, I'm just picking out one thing. And so, if there will be factories and industrialists which will go to Ladakh, and if they start making these factories, it'll cause pollution. Pollution leads to rapid melting of the glaciers. Rapid melting of the glaciers, ऊपर से फैक्ट्री होगी, ज़्यादा लोग आएंगे, कम रिसोर्स है, ज़्यादा लोग है, फिर नहीं मिलेगा, प्रॉब्लम होगी. तो Ladakh is like, listen, give us the authority to decide whatever we want to do with respect to our land, right? Make us a part of the 6th schedule, which was promised to them by our honorable home minister back in the day जब वो आर्टिकल 370 की अनाउंसमेंट हुई थी. पर ऑन दी अदर हैंड अगर हम देखें कि अगर ज़्यादा ऑटोनॉमी चली गई तो एक प्रॉब्लम होगी. आई टेल यू क्या प्रॉब्लम होगी. अरुणाचल प्रदेश, लद्दाख, सिक्किम, हिमाचल प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, ये सारी उन स्टेट्स की मैं बात कर रही हूँ और यूटी की बात कर रही हूँ जो बॉर्डरिंग स्टेट्स हैं, बॉर्डरिंग यूटीज हैं विद चाइना. हाउ डू यू लर्न इट? अरुण लद्दाख का सिपाही हिमालय पे उतरा. मैंने नहीं बना, मैंने भी लर्न किया किसी और से, अब तुम्हें भी आ गया. अब चाइना के साथ अगर बॉर्डर है तो ऑटोनॉमी देनी थोड़ी सी ट्रिकी हो सकती है. So that is one thing. Now the second thing that they are saying right now is give us statehood. How do you give statehood to a territory in India? There is a provision of the same under Article 3 of the Constitution. तो प्रोविजन तो है, पर क्या देना चाहिए स्टेटहुड, उसके ऊपर कौन सी अथॉरिटी है? सो देयर इज दिस अथॉरिटी दैट हैज बीन मेड कॉल्ड द स्टेट रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक्ट ऑफ 1956 एंड दिस वाज मेड अपॉन द रिकमेंडेशंस दैट वर प्रोवाइडेड बाय दिस कमीशन कॉल्ड द फजल अली कमीशन. फजल अली कमीशन ने बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स हमें बताए कि यू हैव टू कीप ऑल ऑफ दीज फैक्टर्स इन माइंड. ओनली एंड ओनली देन विल यू determine that a territory is a state. Factors such as finance, economy, administration, unity, integrity, security, right, amongst many other factors. Cultural and linguistic homogeneity. चलो cultural and linguistic homogeneity तो है. Security concerns की तो बात मैंने अभी की, चाइना, right? Unity भी है, integrity भी है, financial, economic and administrative टसल. चलो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव भी अगर मैं छोड़ दूं, जो कि है बाय द वे, फाइनेंस एंड इकोनॉमी इज आल्सो एन इशू. एंड दे हैव आल्सो सेड दैट वी हैव गॉट वेरी लेस रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन द लोकसभा. एंड दे हैव आल्सो सेड दैट वी आर सॉर्ट ऑफ सिमिलर टू पीपल इन ले एंड कारगिल व्हिच यू हैव मेड अ पार्ट ऑफ द यूटी ऑफ जेएनके. तो बड़ी डिमांड्स है. तो लेट्स सी, पढ़ते रहेंगे व्हाट द सेंटर डज फॉर दिस, बट दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू लर्न फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर न्यूज. लेट्स गो अहेड. आज थोड़ी सी, मतलब यही थोड़ी भारी भरकम थी, बाकी सारी इजी है, थोड़ा फटाफट से वाली है. Now, this one is to do with the Equestrian Federation of India. Now, what do we have to learn? Everybody is aware of the fact that what is going to happen? Paris Olympics in 2024. अब पेरिस ओलंपिक्स में 2024 में एक ड्रेसेज इवेंट होता है. ड्रेसेज इवेंट क्या हुआ कि एक अरीना हम लोगों ने डिसाइड कर दिया जिसकी मेजरमेंट्स ऑलरेडी डिसाइडेड है. इस अरीना में एक लो रेल सी होती है जिसके अंदर जो राइडर और हॉर्स है उसको परफॉर्म करना होता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड द ड्रेसेज इवेंट. Now, for the dressage event, for the very first time, an Indian has got a quota. कि मतलब you can be a participant. India has got a quota. So, Anush Agarwal is the name of the person. You can see him over here. Gets India its first Paris Olympics quota in dressage. So, does that mean that Anush Agarwal will definitely participate? Not really. The quota has been given to the country. इन ऑल प्रोबेबिलिटी यही जाएंगे, लेकिन ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि ये ना जाए. लेकिन ये हुआ पहली बार है कि इंडिया को एक चांस मिला है इसके अंदर. सो अनुष अग्रवाल has received individual bronze medal for India in the 2023 Asian Games and team goal में भी इन्होंने participate किया है. गोल्ड जिसमें मिला था. Okay, this particular announcement was done by the Equestrian Federation of India that was made in 1967. The headquarters is in New Delhi, to be precise, and it is under the Delhi cantonment. And so hence the secretary is an army guy, Colonel Jaiveer Singh. Like I said, quota has been claimed for India and hence it isn't assured that he will compete at the Paris Olympics. So we will keep reading about it, देखेंगे कि क्या होता है. But that is that about this particular news. Right? Let's go ahead. Now, this one is just a simple summit that took place. It's called the NEEM Summit by the World NEEM Organization. ठीक है? तो अगर आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, it is fine. अगर नहीं देख सकते तो मैं आपको लिख के यहाँ पे बता देती हूँ कि this was the second edition of the World NEEM Organization का seminar, right? And it was the third global NEEM ट्रेड फेयर. तो ट्रेड फेयर की बात करें तो थर्ड एडिशन. अगर WNO विच इज वर्ल्ड नीम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का सेमिनार की बात करें तो द एडिशन इज सेकंड. व्हाट इज द थीम? इट इज रिटन ओवर हियर, नीम फॉर सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चर, हेल्थ एंड एनवायरनमेंट. क्या ये इंपॉर्टेंट है? हाँ जी, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. न्यू दिल्ली में ये चीज हुई है. और किसने कंडक्ट कराई है? इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चरल रिसर्च, ICAR, was made in 1929. It is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare and the director is Mr. Himanshu Pathak. Important for us. क्या क्या बात की? नीम कोटेड यूरिया के बारे में बात की, नीम बेस्ड हेल्थ प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में बात की. कहते हैं नीम ट्रीज जो है वो कार्बन अब्जॉर्ब बहुत जल्दी कर लेते हैं, तो वो भी हमको करना चाहिए. So those are certain things that were mentioned in this particular thing. We can go ahead. The next one is Indus X Summit. This summit is also taking place where? In the capital, which is New Delhi. Now, what is this Indus X Summit? ये किसके बीच में है? इंडिया और यूएस के बीच में है. एम क्या है कि हमें अपने डिफेंस को इनोवेशन के साथ और बेटर करना है. किसने ऑर्गेनाइज किया? देयर इज दिस कॉर्पोरेशन कॉल्ड इनोवेशन फॉर डिफेंस एक्सीलेंस. नाम से पता चल रहा है what they are trying to do, innovation for defense excellence, right? So drones and this and that and MQ-9B, Predator and Reaper, and we are seeing so many new weapons that different countries are taking, right? So, and that is primarily because of the fact that they don't want to do a lot of hand-to-hand combat, which results into a lot of deaths, a lot of martyrdom. Martyrdom is a better word. So this was organized by the Department of Defense Production under the Ministry of Defense of India and Department of Defense of the US. IDEX, which is the Innovation for Defense Excellence, was launched in 2018 for modernization of defense industry. So you can see it over here. Right? The theme sort of was catalyzing Indo-US innovation. ठीक है? ठीक है. Okay. So that is that from today's news. It was a bit detailed. Kindly go over it again and again and kindly learn it up. And if you found the video informative, kindly like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you tomorrow with more news. Thank you.